So I wanted to give you one spot that you can go to look over all of Mr. Charlie's skills. So this first exercise that we go over is the most important exercise. This is relax on a mat, and this basically gives Charlie emotional intelligence and allows him to work through any sort of situation that might get him anxious or excited. And the way that we do this is by getting him into a relaxed body posture, so whatever's going on around him is going to be perceived as not a big deal because his body language is telling him so, and indicating that everything's okay. So this is a command-free exercise. We never say anything during this exercise. We remain silent. And the way that Mr. Charlie knows that we're doing this exercise is by breaking out this towel here, and then he gets treats when he's doing the right thing. So that is in his DOWN here, resting his little chin down. And the way that you can utilize this is to get closer to objects or things, a particular stimulus that gets him wound up or excited or nervous, and approach and get closer and closer over time. With sounds, you could start with a Google sound, Google a specific sound, start at a low volume, and then start to ratchet that up over time. Is the way that you can deal with sounds for Mr. Charlie if he's getting too excited about that. So the last thing that I want to say on the relax on a mat, good job bud, is that you scoop it up off the floor after you're done working with Mr. Charlie, and it's not a mat that just hangs out in the middle of the floor all day. It's something that is utilized during your exercise and then taken off the floor. So going into our clickerable exercises, we want to go over a name game exercises. We want him to have super strong focus as soon as we say his name and have him look at us. So let's go from the side here a little bit. Charlie. As soon as Charlie makes eye contact, I'm going to click at that moment and give him a treat. Then I'm just going to wait till he's distracted. Charlie. Perfect. And then give him a click and a treat. And I'm going to take some treats, and I'm going to create an artificial distraction for him by dragging my hand out to the side here. Charlie. Great. He's got to be able to come back even though he wants to just stare at the treats. Then lastly, I'm going to take a treat, toss it on the ground here. Look at it, bud. Charlie. And give him a click as soon as he turns towards me and looks in my direction. Then I always like to parlay, Charlie, come, this into some excellent recall. Charlie's done a great job on his recall. He can actually come when he's just playing with the pack of dogs. Charlie, lead it. Good. I know you discussed working on a more solid leave it. So this is just put some treats in front of his face. Lead it. And as soon as he retracts and pulls back is the clickerable moment that he's done what we're looking for. It's also excellent to work with some different items as we've done here. So a stick, something that gets Mr. Charlie going. Lead it. You'll notice he retracts on that. And I always like to treat him from the ground when we're doing this exercise so that he realizes that everything's coming from down low. Don't focus in on the person or the item after I've done what I'm looking for. So another thing is that I've done a leave it interchangeably with a drop it. So if he actually gets this in his mouth, leave it. Good job. Then he'll let go of it just by telling him leave it. Very good, sir. Another crucial exercise. Charlie. 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 Space is our space exercise. So this is our anti-jumping exercise. Charlie. Space. And I want him to give me this bubble around myself. Charlie. Charlie. Did you find your treat? Space. Very good. And stopping dead in his tracks just like that is exactly what we're looking for. Again, on this one, I was treating him from the ground. I wanted to not be focused in on me and be focused on everything coming from down low. I like to use space as a preventative measure, so to catch him before he has an opportunity to jump up. And again, we're just looking for that 2-foot bubble around us. If he stays outside of our bubble, then he's met our criteria. So that is perfect. You can work on that with yourself. And we've also worked with other folks as well. So you can work on it with a partner or guests that are coming over to your house. Works in both ways, for yourself or for another person. So, Charlie, come. Sit. Good boy. Down. Good boy. Charlie, stay. Free. Good job. So free is his release cue after he has completed his mission on his stay. And you can always start to increase the distance that you're staying away from the little guy, as well as the amount of time that you're staying away from him, and work in some different environments. Charlie, touch. Good job, bud. This is our targeting exercise. Charlie, touch. And this just gets Mr. Charlie positioned wherever we need him to be. So it has all sorts of interesting applications. Let's say that you're on your walk and he's not quite exactly where he needs to be positioned, and you can put your hand out, tell him touch, and get him back exactly where he needs to be. If you want him to go anywhere, say he's not going through a doorway or something, you want him to go, you just tell him touch. Get him to go into a crate if you want him to go into a crate. And say he's going to be a bigger boy, so you want to start to get him used to jumping up in the car, and you want to tell him touch. So it has a whole multitude of different applications that you can utilize that for. So what we're going to do next is get Mr. Charlie leashed up and go over his outdoor leash behaviors and show you his walking. He's done an excellent job. Yeah, free again for you, sir.